Hello there. Uh, Sorry I'm a bit late. Just checking on the connection. That's all. Oh man, how did nobody talked about this when Modern Warfare came out? How did nobody explore this exploit of? Well, let's just go back. Let's just go to the chase. The weapon drop field upgrade from Modern Warfare. Everybody is like, oh well, if you hold it, you get a weapon with 5 random attachments and everything. And I'm like, yeah. And it says then press for attachment, but instead of changing one of the ones that you have, even though you're full, um, what it's interesting is that it gives you a sixth one. You use it again in the same life, or grab the same weapon if you can that has the sixth attachment, and it grants you another one. So you got 7 attachments, and then you do it again, you get 8 attachments. In a sense of way, the limit is 8. Here's here's the thing, and I know that it's a little bit surprising, and it's like, well, this own news is like you can get 10 attachments right now with Vanguard weapons in Warzone. It's like, yes, but here's the thing: Vanguard weapons are, how to put this? They're unbalanced, but not like the Modern Warfare 2 unbalanced that everything was overpowered, yet you could use everything in order for you to have fun. No, it's the other way around. It's like everything is overpowered, but in the wrong sense that you cannot have fun because certain weapons with all 10 attachments are the meta. And that frustrates a lot of people that you cannot use your weapons. Not even let's go into concepts of Warzone. All Vanguard weapons are the meta. And all meta Vanguard weapons are the meta. And for the player that has played from Modern Warfare 2019, for Cold War, even though they want to use their loadouts and have some fun, well, they cannot win matches because the meta is the meta and it's Vanguard meta weapons. And because of the 10 attachments, the unbalance that it brings with it, it's just none like other. But when I checked out this feature of Modern Warfare, the max 8 attachments through the weapon drop. You have your 5 standard and you get the 3 extra with, even though it's random, but still, the way that, how to put it, the way that it is even though you can say, oh, well, I got like an overpowered weapon, but somehow it doesn't feel overpowered. It still feels balanced, even though I have 8 attachments. I don't know how to say it. I think the best example is the Cold War. When you use the gunfighter for the 8 attachments on your rifle, you still get beaten sometimes with weapons that have 5 attachments. So even though in a sensitive way you can say you're overpowered, but not so much. Like a very small minuscule difference. It's almost like 5% above instead of like Vanguard weapons that are 10 attachments. It's over the top, even with, um, let's say, even you have your Cold War weapon and 8 attachments. The Vanguard weapons, because of the way that they're unbalanced, because they had no regards of balancing weapons. It's almost like they did. If you actually pay attention, ARs, SMGs, LMGs, in a sense of way, marksman rifles, uh, snipers, pistols, like everything almost have the same fucking attachments. Why? Because fuck you, that's why. And it's frustrating because how can you have the same sights for all the weapons in the World War II era, where the only sight that you had was a fucking telescopic one in real life. you can create the red dot, and a little variation here and there. But like minimal attachments, god damn it. Not just a fucking plethora just to justify the fucking levels. Shame on you on that, Sledgehammer. Maybe a video game, but god damn it, if you're going for the realistic environment, do it realistic. Don't. Anyways. Okay, going back to topic. Um, so yeah, that you can have 8 attachments in Modern Warfare through that. Just tap attachment, call it again, the same life. Tap 7 attachment, tap 8 attachment. I tried it. Well, not tried it. I've done it actually in Ground War, and even though it feels like, yeah, I got a few more attachments and I can use it here and there, it's not. I still don't feel above the. Yeah, I still don't feel above the rest because having 8 attachments in Modern Warfare, even though the other 3 are random from the weapon drop, from my experience in using it, even though it's only 2 days, I don't feel overpowered. I don't feel that I can win a gunfight match just because of the gun. I still have to involve some sort of skill in it, and I can. And here's where I understand why they're going with 7, because if you actually see what they're doing for the Modern Warfare 2 on the new gunsmith, that they want like 5 attachments but 4 weapon parts and you can only carry 7 of the whole, and you're like, well, yeah, because I started to notice it. 7 and 8, between 7 and 8 attachments through the Modern Warfare, through this fucking glitch, I started seeing it as like, well, the gun comes more alive, not with the 6 attachment, but with the 7th. And in the 8th, even though it's the max on it, I still feel that that gun doesn't come really alive, like until until 7th, and the 8th is like almost over the top, like unnecessary in a sense of way, but you still appreciate just another one just in case. Uh, but yeah, and I tried this with my build of the M4. Let me see if I can showcase you an image of it in order for you to actually see what I'm getting at. There's my build. I should have had this one already in the works. Okay, here it is. Let me just share the screen for you so you can actually see. There we go. So I have it with this 5 attachments. That's my M4. And I went into private match just to test it out, like how many you can get, because I was noticing it in the challenge that I had, is like press for attachment. And yes, it resets your sight, your reticle, but it doesn't matter. You get 6 attachments. And I'm like, how many can I get? I went to a private match. I can get tops 8, and you can get, if you have these attachments selected. It mostly, what I figured out, it mostly starts either with the perk or with the stock. Very rarely it starts with a grip or with a muzzle, if you have this combination of attachments. So that's how it starts. And the few times that I have gone on a match of Ground War is the Singard stock, some kind of suppressor or muzzle. Usually it gives me the lightweight or tactical if it is a suppressor. There's a perk, and even though that I have all that, I still feel the gun is still balanced for play. Even if I have 3 more attachments here, I still feel that the gun is still balanced enough for the for me playing against other players. Because having 8 attachments doesn't guarantee me to be 11-0 in a match, or let's put it in more perspective, 50 plus kills and 11 or 12 deaths. It doesn't guarantee me that. It's more so through skill. And I think what they're doing in the approach of Modern Warfare 2 and their new gunsmith with you choosing 7, it's actually good because it's telling you it doesn't matter how many you have, it involves more so the skill of the shooter than the weapon itself. You have the most overpowered weapon, but what does it mean if you cannot use it properly? So that's one that to actually have. But yeah, if you want to have any attachments, that's the way you can do it. You can camp in the back of the map and wait until uh, you get another weapon drop or get some kills and go and grab your weapon, call in the weapon drop, get a 7 attachment, 8th, let's go. I mean, it works. It gives you a little bit more boost, but it doesn't guarantee you to go into a killing spree. Yet it's still balanced enough. And I'm a casual competitor. So, yeah. Um, regarding our news, the leaks and everything. Until we got solid confirmation, I know that the leakers may have their reputation and everything, but it's programming. They can erase the code right now and change it for later. Uh, so yeah, until we got confirmation, every leak that you hear, every leak that you see and read on the internet, it's like take it all not with a grain of salt, but with a fucking chunk of salt, because it can change real quick. So on that aspect, I might be covering. Well, no, I could be covering actually the leaks, but I won't because I know that they can change real quickly or they're from the past. So yeah. So until we get, I don't know, we're approaching the end of July and no multiplayer reveal, no multiplayer explaining how it's going to work, the new gunsmith and everything. I think we're going on the same path that we went with Modern Warfare 2019. The multiplayer reveal in mid August or early August, and the beta it's going to be in September. And if it's that route, it's too little time if it is October 25th. So, what else can I say about that? I mean, it seems that they didn't put attention on the time and effect, but oh well. Anyways, until then, until I discover something that we should have discovered 2 years ago. uh, until then, just stay safe, take care of yourself, your loved ones. Till next time.